Please come to the hospital immediately. Sarah is in a critical condition. Our 6-year-old daughter was in a life-death situation. I begged my husband to come to the hospital right away, but he responded harshly. Stop with the lies again. And to use our daughter's life as bait, you're the absolute worst. I am being for real. Why won't you believe me? I found myself yelling into the phone, only to be met with a dismissive clicking of the tongue, as if he couldn't stand my noise. All right, I got it. I'll have one more drink, and then I'll head back. By then, Sarah will have miraculously revived and be sleeping peacefully in bed. I'm sick and tired of your lies. Don't call me again. Bye. Wait! Before I could stop him, he hung up. I collapsed in the hospital corridor, muttering weakly, Sarah. My name is Holly. I'm 31 years old. I married my husband John, who was 42, 6 years ago, and became a stay-at-home mom. I met John at work, where he was my boss. He was good at his job, handsome, and treated everyone equally, which is what I greatly admired about him. One day, I confessed my feelings to him, and we started dating. After dating for a while, about a year later, he proposed to me. I remember tears of joy flowing uncontrollably. Soon after our marriage, I discovered I was pregnant. We did it! We're going to raise our child with so much love and affection. I was genuinely happy to be married to the man I respect and to be expecting his child. However, since our daughter Sarah was born, John drastically changed and became cold towards me. He started belittling me, accusing me of lying when I said I was unwell and needed a break from household chores. He wouldn't help me at all. When Sarah was a baby and often cried at night, he would shout, "She's annoying! Put her to sleep quickly!" Many times I found myself in tears, living a life far different from the family life I dreamt of. You are a stay-at-home mom, and you can't even take care of the kids while doing your chores? Damn, I picked the wrong one. Why would you say that? We are couples. We are together in this. I'm working hard outside the house. Don't burden me with housework. Besides, you complain often about being sick, but I doubt that. You're probably lying about not getting enough sleep because of kids, too. I would never lie about something like this. Household chores aside, Sarah is our daughter. You have to take part in raising her, too. If you want people to help you that badly, why don't you hire a housekeeper? That's only if you can pay out of pocket, of course. He never listens to me, and the more I plead, the more he accuses me of lying. I could take his insults, but it hurt that he didn't even care for our daughter. I didn't even know if he had any affection for Sarah. Getting divorced did cross my mind, but as a stay-at-home mom, I couldn't muster the courage to leave the house with my daughter. But I made up my mind to be a parent who can protect my daughter, Sarah. If something ever happened, it seemed that Sarah vaguely understood that her father, John, and I were not getting along well. But she has grown up to be such a kind child, often stroking my head gently and saying, "Thanks for everything, Mom." Each time, I would gently hug Sarah and tell her, "Mommy loves you a lot, Holly." But suddenly, one day, something very precious to me got taken away. It happened on Sarah's 6th birthday. The three of us were planning to celebrate her birthday together. I was busy with preparations since morning, and I was mostly done by before 3 p.m. Just as I was about to go buy her birthday cake, I received a call from John. "I got roped into a night out with my colleagues. I'll be home late." "Today is Sarah's birthday. You promised you would be home." "Can't be helped. I was invited out. I'm popular, you see." John seemed pleased with himself, laughing smugly. "Popular my foot. They probably just want you to pick up the tab." I've always told him to stop paying for all of his colleagues' at-night outs, but John never listened. He would simply say, "Who else is going to pay then? I'm the boss." "Can't you please come home for Sarah? She's been looking forward to celebrating her birthday with you." "Stop nagging. I'll get her a present, so that should be enough." "Fine. Whatever." I didn't wait for John's response. I hung up the phone with a loud click. Slamming down the receiver gave me a sense of relief. I shouldn't let this get to me. Today is all about Sarah. I need to keep smiling. I decided to head to the local bakery and bought a strawberry cake, Sarah's favorite. All that was left to do was wait for Sarah to come home. But Sarah didn't come home, even as the evening fell and the sun began to set. Perhaps she was playing with her friends and lost track of time. But she was too late. Just as I was considering whether to go look for her in the park or call the police, The phone rang. It was a call from the police. Holly had been in a traffic accident. What? Is Sarah all right? She's been taken to the hospital, but it seems she's still unconscious. We apologize for the delay in contacting you. It took some time to confirm her identity. I need to rush to the hospital now. I regretted not giving Sarah a note with my contact details, but there's no point crying over it now. I rushed to the hospital, my face as white as a sheet. Please, God, save her. But then I was told by a nurse that Sarah was in critical condition. I suddenly felt all the strength leave my body, and I sank to the floor. She'd gone to school just fine this morning. It wasn't supposed to be like this. I kept trying to convince myself that it was all a nightmare. However, the sound of the machines attached to my unconscious daughter brought me back to harsh reality. Oh, I need to call John, I muttered to myself as I walked out of the room to call my husband. What? It's you again? Don't call me while I'm out drinking. Sarah got in an accident and is being treated at the hospital. It might be serious. Get here now. But my husband's responded saying, Yeah, another one of your tall tales. You just love lying, don't you? I'm not lying. Please, come to the hospital right now. Sarah is in a critical condition. Don't make up such lies. Don't hold any grudge against me just because I didn't come home for her birthday. Man, you terrify me. Haha. Shut up and just come here now. Sarah she might not make it. Before I knew it, I was pleading to my husband through my tears. The fact that my husband called me a liar and wasn't showing any concern for our daughter, even at a time like this, filled me with sadness more than anger. All right, I got it. I'll have one more drink and then I'll head back. By then, Sarah will have miraculously revived and be sleeping peacefully in bed. I'm sick and tired of your lies. Don't call me again. Bye. Wait! Before I could stop him, he had hung up. In the hospital room, I sat wiping my endless tears, waiting for Sarah to wake up. But she never did. Her birthday became the day she left us forever. Why? Please open your eyes. No matter how much I called out to her, no matter how many times I touched Sarah's lifeless body, she never smiled back at me again. Sarah was such a good girl. She was a bit shy, but she was always thoughtful towards others, a caring girl, an angel. Why did she have to lose her life? Sarah! I broke down crying in the hospital, not caring about the people around me. In the end, my husband never came to the hospital that day. The day of the funeral was under a cloudy sky that seemed ready to burst into tears at any moment. John's colleagues and bosses also came to the funeral. I had met them before, but this isn't how I wanted to meet them again. Afterward, my fellow mom friends took turns talking to John and me, but it was clear they find it hard to approach me, who was barely able to stand. Every time someone spoke to John, he would pretend to cry dramatically, saying, I can't believe Sarah is gone, and then added, if my wife had called me sooner that day, I might have been able to see her while she was still alive. You're the one who accused me of lying and refused to come home. You're not even actually crying. John was seeking for everyone's empathy. At this point, I didn't even feel any anger towards him. All I wanted was to peacefully send Sarah off with all my heart. As the funeral was coming to an end, John whispered to me, Okay now, time to get divorced. You'll be free. Taken aback by his sudden words, I glared at him, biting my lip, but he quickly left to go smoke outside. Amid the whirlpool of emotions, as I continued to thank the attendees, a woman approached me. Holly, my deepest condolences. I never imagined something like this would happen. This woman was Kay, a colleague of John's and my closest friend from my office worker days. She came close and gently rubbed my shoulder. It was a moment where I felt, if only slightly, that my heart could rest since Holly passed away. 3 days after the funeral ended, I received a call from Kay while in a daze. When we met at a cafe near my home, she was very worried about me. She asked whether I was eating right and getting enough sleep. The fact that she checked in on me was more than enough for me. To be honest, I hate to be the one to tell you this, but the day Holly got into that accident, I was also drinking with John and other colleagues, and I saw when John picked up your call. Is that so? I told him he should go to the hospital. I should have urged him with more pressure. I'm sorry. There's no need for you to apologize, Kay. I know you told him to go to the hospital, and that's enough. Okay, I'm sorry. And I was really unsure about telling you this, but Kay slowly started telling me about John's recent behavior. She suspected that he might be having an affair with a young colleague named Lee at his workplace. Moreover, when everyone went home after drinking, it turned out he was alone with Lee. I hate to say it, but there have been rumors at the office about John and Lee. People are suspecting that they might be having an affair. I see. The fact that I was the only one unaware of this, being manipulated by John, filled me with anger. Kay, there's something I want to ask you. Yeah, you want to gather evidence of John's infidelity, right? I'll help. Kay, my best friend from my office worker days, already knew what I wanted to say. With Kay's assistance, I decided to gather evidence of my husband's affair at work. A week later, I got to learn more about John's affair from Kay. Apparently, John and his mistress were openly flirtatious at work, and they would frequently leave the office together after work and disappear into a hotel district. Kay had followed them and took photos and videos of them together. Kay, thank you for your all this. Holly, are you okay? If there's anything else I can help you with, don't hesitate to ask. I fought back the tears that threatened to spill at Kay's words of concern, forcing a smile. That night, I presented my husband with a signed divorce paper. Let's get a divorce, please. Lucky me, I wanted to break up with you too. So I'm demanding $30,000 in compensation from both of you. What? That's too much just for a divorce. Gosh, you're all about money. I also know about your affair, and I have solid proof. I showed my husband the photos and videos of him with Lee that Kay had taken. He was shocked for a second, but quickly regained his composure and glared at me. Lies again. You really are a terrifying woman. You can always edit these pictures these days. Which detective agency did you hire? I knew you'd say that. At this point, Kay walked in from the room next door. Out of concern for me, she insisted to stay with me and had been waiting in there. My husband was taken aback by the unexpected guest. Why? These photos and videos aren't fabricated. I took them myself. You are the absolute worst. Your daughter has passed away and you're cheating too? If you don't admit it, I'll report it to our boss. Please don't do that. So, you admit that you were cheating, right? Yeah, I guess. My husband grudgingly admitted with a grimace. Okay, so we're getting divorced. Make sure you pay me alimony. However, even after admitting his affair, John refused to pay alimony. If you're going to be so stubborn, I'll consult a lawyer. Do you, a housewife, even have the money to hire a lawyer? I've been working online this whole time so that I would be able to raise Sarah on my own in case we ever get divorced. I was only going to use this money for Sarah, but I'll use it to get back at you. Until now, John had been looking down on me, even when I confronted him with the evidence of his infidelity. He seemed unfazed, but all of a sudden, he began to panic. Whoa, hold on. This is some kind of joke, right? Ha! If you think this is a joke, why don't you try me? I won't settle for some lukewarm settlement, just so you know. At my cold words, John suddenly fell to his knees and began to plead. I started dating Lee because she hit on me first. It's not my fault. He began making excuses. I don't have the money to pay alimony, so reconsider this, please. He was rubbing his head on the floor, shedding tears. Yeah, and I bet those tears are fake too. Goodbye. Ignoring my husband, I picked up the Boston bag I had prepared and left home with Kay. Later, I hired a lawyer and successfully filed for divorce and damages. Of course, I also managed to get Lee to pay $25,000 in damages. John lost his family, his money, and got dumped by Lee right away, who said, I only dated you because you were a big spender. I didn't expect things to turn out like this. Moreover, when their affair at the office was exposed, they were called in by their CEO and, according to Kay, were transferred to different rural areas. After my divorce, I moved back to my parents' house and continued working from home. I had Sarah interred in my family cemetery back home. I am still grieving, but from now on, I intend to live my remaining years quietly and peacefully.
Is this seriously my family? Such a question was forced upon me. Just showing their good side with smiles on their faces, not knowing what they're really thinking. and it didn't take long for me to grow to dislike such a family. My name is Samantha, a 28-year-old housewife. I got married a year ago and have been living with my family at my childhood home. This happened due to 3 reasons. The first is that my father's company went bankrupt and he couldn't find a new job. The second reason is because my older brother Ryan is jobless. Being the eldest son and jobless is unacceptable, and it seems like my father is putting all his bets on my husband Alex. Ryan claims to be a YouTuber, and despite him saying that it's his job, from our parents' perspective, nothing has changed. He is just as jobless as before. And the third reason is my mother has terminal cancer. She was given 2 years to live. When my marriage was decided, it all happened in quick succession. My father asked my husband Alex to live together. Alex had a close relationship with my father, often drinking together, so he didn't hesitate to agree. Given my mother's situation, I also agreed with the arrangement and was grateful to Alex. I wanted to take care of my parents as much as possible, but after a year of living together since our marriage, I started to get annoyed with my brother Ryan.
It's been a while. Why are you just a housewife? Even though Dad is jobless, isn't it strange that you're not working?
Do you realize what's going on with Mom? What would happen if I didn't handle the house chores? The laundry and meals for you, Ryan? I am the one doing it.
You sound so sarcastic.
And yet, you dare to speak to me in such a way. Besides, I work from home.
Work from home? Ah, you mean some penny-earning side job. That's not called work.
I don't want to hear this from you, Ryan.
Go find a real job, got it?
I had no reason to be spoken to like that, and it infuriated me. His accusations made me feel as if I were entirely in the wrong, cornering me. When I consulted with Alex, he merely said,
"He must be stressed, just ignore him,"
showing no understanding of my situation. I was worried about my mom and was doing everything I could for her, so my brother's behavior only added to my annoyance. I couldn't help but wonder if he even cared about our mom at all. His cold-heartedness seemed apparent. I started to feel more and more stressed. Hey, it seems like my workload is going to increase. If that happens, I won't have any time for myself, so I might not be able to go to our usual spa visits.
Well, I don't mind that, but it would be a problem if you couldn't handle things at home. After all, we've got to take care of my mother-in-law.
I get it. I won't neglect my responsibilities.
Do you need some money or something?
No, that's not it. But can you come with me for the weekend grocery shopping? If I shop for the whole week at once, I can free up some time for work.
You're really determined, huh? All right, we'll drive there.
I didn't want to waste time, so I decided to buy a week's worth of groceries on the weekend to avoid multiple shopping trips. Then an incident occurred.
Samantha, you've stolen my money.
Suddenly, my husband accused me of theft. I had no idea what he was talking about, let alone what money he was referring to. He had decided that it was me, his face turning beet red with anger. I couldn't understand why he would think it was me. I was the one who should be angry. It's not right to blame others. Was it stolen from your wallet?
Don't play dumb. The $3,000 I put in the drawer is gone.
$3,000?
Yes. Return it now and we'll forget this happened.
Hold on, why am I the one to blame? I didn't even know you were keeping such a large sum in the drawer.
But you said you were going to increase your workload recently. I thought it was suspicious. I can't believe you're that kind of woman.
No, you're getting it all wrong. Please, believe me.
I'm sorry, but I can't trust you anymore. Don't mess with me. Give it back now. I said give it back.
Enough. If you're going to doubt me that much, then go ahead and doubt.
Get out, criminal.
I'll leave by the end of today. I lost my temper and retorted harshly. Treated as a criminal by my family, I was driven out of the house. However, the following day, I received a frantic call from my brother Ryan.
Mom's in a terrible state.
What?
As soon as she found out you left, she's been panicking and screaming. You need to come back and calm her down.
I won't go back to that house anymore. I'll leave Mom in your hands, Ryan. You've never done anything before, so it's about time you stepped up. With a hardened heart, I responded in such a manner. But honestly, I didn't want to do this. I was torn between my pride and my concern for Mom.
Cut the crap. This is too much for me. She only listens to you, so just come back. Even your husband Alex doesn't know what to do.
I don't care. You reap what you sow. I won't go back, and I'm getting a divorce.
I don't care about that. It doesn't concern me whatever happens to you. If that's the case, you should take Mom with you.
This is Mom and Dad's house. Why should I be the one to leave? If someone's leaving, it should be you, Ryan. If you're working, you should be independent.
I'm the eldest son. This place is mine. There's no way I'm leaving.
You're so shameless. Have you ever considered Mom's feelings? She's currently battling an illness. I'll come back, but only if you leave, Ryan. Those are my terms.
I can't do that. It's obviously impossible. Stop being so selfish and come back already.
Even in such a situation, Ryan was still stubborn and selfish. Meanwhile, Alex hadn't been in touch, and it seemed like he had the nerve to continue staying at the house. Perhaps feeling awkward, he'd only come home to sleep and ate all his meals outside. My leaving seemed to have caused the family to fall apart. I didn't realize our family was so fragile. Then, after a month had passed, Alex finally contacted me.
Hey, how long are you going to sulk? Get back here already. Your mother-in-law is unmanageable, and it's becoming a real issue.
I will proceed with the divorce. Once that's settled and you've left, of course I'll come back.
You're really thinking about that?
Obviously, I've been treated like a criminal and kicked out of my own home.
That was just a heated exchange, wasn't it?
You doubted your own family. I feel like I failed in life. There was no trust.
Don't be childish. It's a fact that the money is gone. Who else could it be but you?
It's ridiculous to suspect me without any evidence.
Stop your nagging. Give back the money. If you return it, everything will be settled. You're the one being foolish.
Enough with the insult.
It's a fact that you wanted money at that time. It all adds up. It could only have been you, criminal.
Enough. Want to know why I was trying to earn money?
Like I care. You probably wanted to buy some worthless jewelry or something, right? You couldn't wait to get your hands on that money.
What's tomorrow?
Huh?
I can't believe it. You don't even remember your own birthday.
My birthday? Wait, don't tell me.
That's right. Just as you guessed. I thought it was about time you got a new suit. And since you said you wanted a custom-made one, I was saving money for it, but it wasn't enough.
Fool, you know custom-made suits are expensive and we can't afford it.
That's why I wanted to gift it to you so badly. And yet you accused me of stealing the money, and that hurt me.
Wait a minute, I didn't know, forgive me. It's not something to get so angry about, right?
I can't forgive you. The most important thing is missing, so it's over. I'm sorry, but all I can think of is divorce. That's why I've asked a lawyer to handle it.
Huh? An attorney? Stop that.
I want to settle this quickly and go back to my mom's.
I don't want to. I won't get a divorce. And I won't leave this house. We're supposed to inherit this house.
Huh? My decision to divorce was further cemented by the fact that Alex's attitude hadn't changed. If Alex continues with this mindset, the divorce is likely to get messy. However, I remained unshaken. As I was thinking about all this, my brother reached out to me again.
Samantha, cut it out. You need to come back now.
No way!
Why did you keep quiet?
What?
Mom spilled the beans. She said you've been paying the mortgage on this house. Moreover, you've been covering all the living expenses too.
Ah, isn't it strange that you didn't know about it? An odd job wouldn't be enough to cover the expenses.
But we can't pay the mortgage.
What are you talking about? You have a job, but you haven't put a single cent into the house. You should be the one to pay it.
Well, yes, but I bought a computer. A high-end one. It was expensive.
What? You bought a computer?
Because I needed it for my job. What else could I do?
Oh, so you're making enough to buy such a thing? Then you should be able to pay the house mortgage, right?
I told you I can't pay. Your husband isn't contributing to the living expenses either. What's going on?
Until now, I've been covering those with my money, but now that Alex is eating out every meal, there's no spare money.
So what are we supposed to do? Hurry up and figure something out. If we don't pay the mortgage here, we'll have nowhere to live. What about Mom and Dad?
I had reached the end of my patience with my brother's selfish thinking. Just stop it already. Who cares about your video game streaming? You have less than 100 subscribers. The number of views is in the single digits. You won't make any money that way. Nobody watches it because it's not interesting.
How do you know that?
I just searched for video game streaming and it came right up. Wearing a mask and sunglasses doesn't make you unrecognizable. How did you buy a computer with that? Don't tell me you...
I didn't steal any money from your husband.
How do you know about that? Something's fishy.
Well, that's right. I overheard you two talking.
What? Nobody was at home when we had this big argument. You were out, which is unusual for you.
That's a misunderstanding. You got the dates wrong. It's a mix-up.
Stop messing around. You're the one who stole it, right? If you don't confess, I'm going to file a police report.
Well, wait, a police report? No, please stop. I just found some money and I just borrowed it. I swear I'll pay it back.
Don't give me that crap. I will never forgive you. Get out of my house now. I'll be back home tomorrow, and if you're not gone by then, I'm calling the cops.
Don't say things like that. We're siblings. We're family. Can't things just stay the way they've always been?
Don't try to smooth talk your way out of this. I will never forgive you. Just remember that. Leave before I get back tomorrow. You've been warned.
Don't make decisions without me. I'm your older brother. Cut me some slack, please.
Without responding to my brother, I just hung up the phone. It seems like he kept calling like a madman after that, but I turned my phone off and ignored all of it. The next day in the morning, I returned home. I'm home! My mother rushed to greet me. Mom, you're back. I'm so glad. I never realized just how important you are to us, Samantha. I'm so sorry. Hold on, it's not your fault, Mom. As we were talking in the living room, my brother Ryan emerged from his room. And then he uttered unbelievable words.
So you finally came back. Here's the details for the loan repayment. Make sure to transfer it today. Also, I've got a tab running at the delivery place, so you can take care of that too. It's your fault for running off like this. Reflect on your actions.
What the hell are you talking about? Stop messing around. I told you to leave. I will call the cops.
You're throwing your life away over just $3,000. What? $3,000? Don't tell me you... Don't whine just because I borrowed a little. You're making a big deal out of nothing. Big deal? You steal my money, then say I'm making a big deal? That's not right, is it? Can I get it back? I don't remember lending it to you. You, living here on my generosity, shouldn't be so bold. We're family. It's okay, right? No, it's not okay. Give it back. Are you sure you want to go on like this? You might not be able to live here anymore.
Seeing Alex and my brother arguing, my father stood up. No way, my mild-mannered father?
Enough. Both of you get out. This house, it's my house. And currently, it's Samantha who's paying the mortgage. I won't give it to anyone. I may be the eldest son of this house, but why is my sister taking over? You're only the eldest son in name. What have you done? You've been a shut-in, playing games all the time. You never got a job, just living off the money I earned, right? You're over 40, grow up, get out. That's too much. Isn't it cruel to tell a man with no money to leave? I've been saying this for a long time. This isn't a new issue. You could sell that computer you have. You're not even working. Wait a minute. When I say get out, that goes for you too. What? But I haven't done anything. Haven't done anything? Who drove Samantha out, treating her like a criminal? A marriage is built on trust. Once it's broken, it's impossible to stay a family. I'm sorry, I apologize. But the one who stole was your son Ryan, wasn't it? Don't blame just me. You got close to me, pretending to be friends, planning to inherit all of my assets, right? The moment I lost my job when the company went bankrupt, you treated me coldly. Because I'm a poor father with no money, right?
How terrible. What a horrible person. I don't want to see your face.
Now get out. Don't mess with me.
I was stunned by my father's words. Perhaps the sudden action of my father was the result of him reaching his limit. The divorce with Alex was successfully processed and it ended abruptly. It felt refreshing as I thought it would be more complicated, but after that, Alex contacted me multiple times. Apparently, the reason for our divorce had become the talk of his workplace, and he couldn't stand it, so he quit. He needs to realize that relying on other people's money won't get him anywhere. And my brother seems to be living in poverty, working a cleaning job at the station. A late employment indeed. As for me, I have no choice but to do my best, hoping for my mother to live as long as possible. Our family is restarting with the three of us, and our bright home life has returned.